here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, get a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it. Makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut in the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Well, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers when you want to chop up a little nuts for cake. Cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup. Making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water, why around canning season when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just heat it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven? Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what?
Hey there, how we doing tonight? Happy Lunar New Year. We're joining Team Bone-In and celebrating. And so we're doing tuna tonight. Getting everything going here. Give me 1 second. So we're going to start with our tuna, which let's take a look at what we got here. I haven't even looked at this since I picked it up. Hopefully it's not a mess. Welcome, Raiders! How's everyone doing tonight? I am just getting started. We're doing ahi tuna tonight, along with a variety of other lovely things. Thank you for the follow and the raid. What were we doing tonight? What am I following up on here? I appreciate that. Thank you, Chris. Nice. Rice cakes. Yeah, I was trying to find glutinous rice and I don't really have a source around here. There's an Asian market that's a bit of a drive, but I haven't been in there in a year. So this is what I got here as far as my tuna. Don't really love, but the rest of it looks pretty good there. So we're going to marinate this, and then I'm going to marinate some bok choy along with mushrooms, and there's a full list of things there. Wow. Nice, Chris. Welcome, Trigger. How you doing tonight? Let's do this separate first. For those just joining in, we also have Stream Raiders going, which you can find Stream Raiders at... Actually, do I have the command? There we go. Oh, it's sitting behind the lettuce. Need the mushrooms out here anyways. Trying to get at my soy sauce. Yeah, and it's yellowfin, which is not the better of the two. Doing about a quarter cup of soy. Ginger. Freshly grated ginger. That's the problem with the ginger. It seems to like to stick. Hey, Chili Music, how you doing tonight? No problems, Trigger. Just leaving that up there. So we got our fresh ginger. We got our soy sauce. Add a little toasted sesame oil. Not much. This stuff is pretty potent as far as aroma and flavor. So you really only want to add like a teaspoon to a tablespoon sort of a thing. And then use some other oil, maybe a cheap neutral oil instead. Let's see, we have another oil in here. Nope. Just the lemon. Welcome him, Head Mama Bear. Not really, but we can switch to that. I really don't mind whatever it is. I mean, I'm listening to it too, but as long as it isn't like twangy country, I'm good. We're not done with these, just save the rest of them for later. You know, I don't know if I've ever tried them that way. Just whole. In the barbecue, it doesn't sound bad. I am a bit of an onion feed. Beans. So add these in there. MSG. Take that, move this back with everything else. We're going to move on to bok choy. Yeah, well, I was expecting the smaller, typical baby bok choy when I ordered them. Ooh, oh, it's down there. And instead, I got this. So I think I'm only going to use one of these. But yeah. Move the tuna off of the side here. Get rid of Oh, I forgot. Look, didn't leave the water running. I was running water over there so that I can seal this. We're gonna set this over here. Hey, Noisy Peta. Thank you for that follow, Cadmo. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Let's use the water to force all the air out of the bag. That way, ensure contact around everything. You don't have to use as much of a marinade. Don't waste as much stuff. So we'll take this guy after we wipe our board off. I'm going to take a fresh top off of that. Actually, we're going to give this a little bit of a wash. And do 1 minute ad here before our battle. And while we're doing that, I'll just rinse off the pak choy. Getting in between the leaves and all that good jazz. Pulling off any of the leaves that are looking sort of nasty. Which we got one here that had an odd break in it. Rubber bands in the rubber band bowl. And everyone should be back, so let's do our battle. Victory. Had Mama Bear with the kills, Edgy Hercules with the assists, had Mama Bear with the gold, and me with a whole bunch of scrolls. Yay. Yay. And chest, or we're going chests. Let's see what my quests are here. Medic. I think we got some players here. So I'm gonna throw out a cleric. There's my mage. Please note my quests are probably not the same as yours, so take a look at which are there. So with our bok choy, just going to give a fresh bottom. Hope that we're still attached. Sort of. And then we're going to quarter it. It's even gonna fit in my gallon bags here? Yeesh. Don't think so. We can force the tips in there. Thank you for that follow, Poke. Oops. We're not just bagging this. Why am I doing that? We're adding some other goodies to this, like mushrooms. So we got a full thing of shiitakes. And I'll use about 3/4 of that. I'll save the rest for stock or whatever you have later on. Need soy. We need, what else do we have with us? Soy fish sauce. What I'm remembering off the top of my head here. And my memory is horrible. Start with a fresh bottle of fish sauce. My finger is not that small. There we go. So give a couple of that stuff. Back with the soy sauce. Sesame oil. Oh, actually, this doesn't have sesame oil in it. I thought it did. We're just doing olive oil. brown sugar. More of that green onion. Sort of. These are going to have to hang out with this a little bit. We got our cocktail still to be made, which is after I'm done with this. Surprising, this recipe has both salt and soy. Trying to use up the last of the salt in this jar before I switch over to new stuff, because like I said before, this stuff is junk. Yeah, I'm gonna do a New Year cocktail, or a Lunar New Year cocktail. We're gonna use the lemon that I sliced there. Gonna use actually some port and gin, and another ingredient. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let's see, got everything here. Veg oil, yeah. Oh, garlic. Garlic, garlic, garlic. Much needed. You get this water off of my cutting board too. Shaking my head at There's a couple stems in there that they probably threw in there to just get it to the right weight. Well, it's a good week to do it. I like garlic. I think garlic would go well with those, so we're going to go a little heavy on our garlic. Yeah, we like garlic here, we like butter here, and we like bacon here. Fair number of my dishes do too. And even though I've been to China and I've taken a course there, I still feel like a lot of its food is foreign to me, which the more we learn about these other cultures. Hey! Hey, Metro. Thank you for that raid. Welcome in, everyone. We're working on celebrating the Lunar New Year today. Gonna be grilling some ahi tuna, or yellowfin. And I'm working on the marinade here for our giant pieces of bok choy and mushrooms. Hey, Courtney. Yeah, seafood, Metro. I know how you feel about fish-based stuff. I don't know if we'll have beef here on Sunday either, but we are going to have a giant cream puff sundae. I actually haven't even decided what I wanted to do for dinner on Sunday, other than what I advertised, which was making cream puffs and turn them into a sundae. Appreciate that, Metro. So, Howard, the name of the game actually escapes me. How are you enjoying the game? By the way, I was hanging out in his stream beforehand. You should give him a follow if you're into gaming. Paladins. Anything along that line? Seems like it's entirely a team-based thing. Or can you go at it solo? Well, actually, this was on sale for me, so that's why I chose this. I actually added the Lunar New Year onto my plans here, sort of last minute here, since they only announced it in the last couple of days. I know from catching it elsewhere, you have to worry about things like the direction of the wind and stuff, which is sort of cool. Bringing environmental aspects into the game. And apparently, like, animals can smell you downwind, that sort of a thing. And let's see. Hopefully that's enough to coat that. I think I want to add more liquid into this. Do a bit more soy and a bit more oil. Should have left myself that. I'll wait and put this thing away without thinking that I was going to have to seal a second bag here. The lobsters, yeah, my buddy was posting online that his Valentine's is always cleaning up tons and tons of lobster. He was posting a sheet pan of tails. Oh, also going to add a little MSG in with this one too. And same as last time here. Seal up the bag other than one end. It's the last bag I'm sealing. So there we go. That'll hang out there. We'll get rid of this guy. I think Metro plays all the games. I'm gonna use more of that ginger though. Okay, I think it's... yeah. Now that I've finished up the yerba mate, it's time to make our real drink. I'm just going to pour over ice. I need port. I don't know why I completely opened up. We're not ready for that yet. And gin, which I'm gonna pull the Tanqueray out again, rather than the more local one that I have that I showed you guys last time. Grab ourselves some ice. Tawny ports are... I actually really like tawny ports. They're fortified wine, which means it can hang out for a couple of days. And it's also closer to a 20% 40 proof. Let's see, what is this one? This one's 19. And so it's going to give us a lot of deep, dark fruit and sort of like a raisiny flavor to this as well, along with the herbals from the gin. And then since it's Lunar New Year, we're going to finish it off with some tangerine and lemon for some citrus here. I'm wishing I had some mint. I didn't buy it just for this. And so, yeah, I'm actually using La Croix. Or LaCroix. Orange is lucky, and so... Oh, where are you hiding now? There we go. Orange is also lucky, so we'll add some orange bitters as well. Which I don't know how much the bourbon is to this is going to help, but the orange works. Well, throw that guy on top. Grab a photo. See how this works. Probably going to get mostly the... Yeah, we've already got the port settling on the bottom there. I think we're going to need a little bit of a stir here. Yep, mostly La Croix at the front there. LaCroix. Yeah, I think that one's going to take a minute to... But it's definitely starting off nice and refreshing. There's a light berryness to it at this point. I'm almost thinking that I want to add more port to this. But cheers. Happy Lunar New Year. Thank you for that follow, Original Vampire. Ooh, battle time. And gonna run a 1-minute ad here in my attempts to avoid pre-rolls for you guys. So how is everyone? Yeah, I don't know. I think the raisiny tawny port versus, I mean, a ruby, I would absolutely agree. But a tawny, which they are different for those that don't know. Tawnies are, rubies are like the name, it's bright, and these are more raisiny. And I actually think I am going to add a little bit more port to this. Always good to keep hydrated, especially when you're drinking. Let's run our battle here. Sort of surprising here. I don't think my timer's turned on. Huh. Battle time. Gotta remember to adjust the camera there. It's cutting my head off today. Victory. Oops. I didn't mean to move that. Blackade, the kills, Midget Hedgehog with the assists, Edgy Hercules with the scroll, oh, I can go back down here. Yeah, I think I want to go back down here. Or you guys want the green chest or the gold chest here? I think we're going to go for the green chest. Oh, I needed to do clerics. Can't do it again. So we'll go with tank. And you want to go off to either side here on this map. Because right here is going to get blocked by the water, and we're going to have to walk around it either way. Yeah, it's not too shabby. And since we still got a little bit of white here on our green onions or scallions, I think of scallions as being slightly larger, but I think we can get away with cheating and then using green onion. I think of scallions as more like spring onions. Oh, we don't want that one either. Oops, camera. So this is for the rice. Not a very Asian rice, but we're going to do Calrose, which is actually a Californian rice. Let's do a cup measure. So we'll do 2 cups of Calrose. Approximately. No, it's not nowhere near that fruity. Actually, I'm still mostly getting the tangerine LaCroix. But you get a little deep berry. It's not bright. And it's finished off with the juniper in the background. Rinse our rice off here. Which I generally do. I spray it with my spray washer until I start seeing the water come out clear below. It's got a little thickness to it though, so we'll give it a stir. That's looking pretty clear now. Let's see what our ratio is for this. So, wow. It's only 1.5. So we'll do 3 cups of water. Bring that back over here for our scallions. It's not going to work with the question mark at the end. Take that little piece of ginger skin out. Fine with a little of the skin being grated in there, but I don't want chunks of it in there. That was one of the English ones. That's easy. And actually, sprinkles. For those that are not following me on Twitter or on the Discord, I recently announced that I'm going to take this cutting board that I made and turn it into our Hall of Fame board. So in the future, those with 7,500 sprinkles, which is quite a bit, there's only a couple of people there right now out of everyone that's been watching my streams here, can get their name on this board, which I'm going to do streams wood burning that. And additionally, there's other things that I'm planning here, such as I haven't decided on the price for it, and neither of these are active, so no one can try and do them yet anyways. The other one's going to be a random chance for a different price that will get you either a free sub or a gift card. A $25 gift card like I did at 500 followers. And I might do another one at 1,000 followers. No Papa Bearded. That is something that I put together, but it's not quite suitable for food. It's got too many gaps, too many other things that aren't going to be sealable well enough. So that's going to be there. We're going to have rewards for the sprinkles. And yeah, the whole thing behind the sprinkles is you basically can't pay to get them. And so legally, it's safe to do sweepstakes. I see so many people doing sweepstakes on Twitch, which is awesome. But the law in many states is it's got to be free to join. So in this, you're taking mail. We'll do up the rest of this for garnish here. Well, like a lot of people use channel points for the rewards, which it would be awesome if Twitch did it that way. But channel points are boosted by both bits and tips and subscribing. So that makes it so they're pay to win. Actually, I'm going to throw a little bit of this, more of this in with the rice. And I think I'm going to do a little cinnamon. A little sesame oil in with this too. Just to match with everything else. And we should have some other fat in there well. So we'll throw a little neutral oil in there as well. But that gets covered up here now. We'll turn that on when we're ready to do that. Yeah, unfortunately, many games are going that way. And many are being designed to go that way. I much prefer the ones that are the purely cosmetic. I mean, developers got to get paid. That's certainly one thing. Just like musicians need to be paid. Flipping the tuna over there, making sure we get good contact on both sides. I think that's a little bit more crucial with this one. And actually, we're going to use a couple burners here tonight. So we're going to put the rice in back. I forgot about the mushrooms. So our rice is going to go in back. We're going to saute the mushrooms, and we're going to grill the bok choy. Yeah, or even the ones that, you know, you get started. I don't like, if it's spelled out as a part of the game that, you know, there's going to be expansions into the game, that's one thing. But it's gotten to the point where, actually, I think Metro did it the other day, put a meme on Twitter where, you know, it was this part for this much, this part for this much, this part for this much. You gotta pay 100 different packages. Hey, Chubb. Welcome. How you doing tonight? So actually, that's enough for garnish. I'm going to actually end up tossing that last little bit of these guys. Put our ginger away for another day. This is still really mild. Like the tonic is really still hitting me almost more than any of the flavors in this. Thank you, Chubb. I rent it. But I cooking all my life, I was certainly taking a look at the kitchen when I rented the place. Well, that's been around for ages. Like, that's been around like 20, 30 years. I'm doing pretty good tonight. Enjoying myself a little cocktail. And we're waiting on our marinades to take deal. Oh, even before that, EverQuest. At least with EverQuest, I don't know about WoW. I never got hugely into WoW. But EverQuest, you could at least become a volunteer guide, and they'd wipe out your monthly fee. Oh, I never got into 2 either, but I was heavy into 1. Heavy into 1. Well, there wasn't PvP on my server, but yeah, I toyed around on a couple of the PvP servers, but the Yeah, and I couldn't get into how cartoony WoW was, and the whole exclamation points above, anyone with a quest for you. Sort of like, play the game. It's a role playing. It's part of the whole thing. I mean, granted, some of EverQuest 1's quests were, I don't know how they solved some of them, other than just knowing. Yeah, I didn't like that about WoW. And honestly, EverQuest 1 was still kicking when EverQuest 2 went out. And actually, when EverQuest 1, or when EverQuest 2 came out, I was a beta tester for EQ1, which I was beta tested 2 of the expansions that were after Planes of Power. Wow, this is looking like a quick stream tonight. Because we could almost wrap this up in 5 minutes here if I wanted to. Let's start in with our mushrooms here. We'll leave the bok choy. That bag just smells amazing. Which, if you guys watch me, I'm not usually one to say something like that. But you obviously can let these marinate a bit longer if you're not streaming. You guys certainly enjoyed my nuts last stream. What do I do with the small guy here? So we got our mushrooms separated from our bok choy and marinade. I'm almost thinking like I want... we'll go with this. So we'll start heating up this pan here. And we'll start our rice off too. Turn our fan on low. Thank you for that follow, Chubby. Last 8 minutes to get your players on the field, characters on the field. The last stream I sat here and blanched a whole bunch of almonds, and so I spent nearly an hour cleaning my nuts. This already has a decent amount of oil in it, so I'm going to skip oil in the pan since it's cast iron. Thank you for that follow, Aquatics. Should always drink water. Oh, I already said that once this stream, but should always drink water when you're drinking. Especially when you're old like me. My music stopped playing in the background here, or the... Oh. Hey, Suki. About 2 ounces. About 2 ounces of gin, and actually about 4 ounces of tawny. Or port. And I'm going to want both of these burners, both the rice and this one, to finish thickening our sauces, or rather our marinades into sauces. We're going to take some cornstarch and water to a slurry, add that to both of our sauces. So I'm having to cook the rice a little bit earlier than I would like to, and the mushrooms, I'm going to leave them in the pan, so hopefully the pan will help keep them warm. I certainly don't have the alcohol tolerance that I once had. Socials just went up there with the timer. You'll find all my photos up there on Instagram. I post sort of like a general photo of everything on Twitter, and everything goes in Discord. Have all sorts of stuff in Discord there. If you guys are not normally following me on Discord already, nope, we don't want to switch audio devices. We have our weekly vote going on in here for Wednesday on the 17th, doing either Creole seasoning, which is currently winning, or oatmeal, and I'll have to do that on Wednesday either for both dinner and dessert, so sweet and savory style. And doing this for many weeks now. Last week was spinach, but I've done charcoal, ramen, cheese balls, taro, fried chicken, crickets, candy corn, all sorts of different ones. Eggnog, Twinkies, gummy worms, and popcorn was the first one. So that's what Wednesdays here are on stream. Friday and Sunday are what I feel like doing. I think our mushrooms are probably pretty well done here. We're going to kill the heat on those now. Make sure we don't got anything sticking. These are looking a little dark. Please note that's probably because of the brown sugar in there. And take that and just let that hang out here behind our alcohol bottles. Bring this up to a boil here quickly. We're going to start heating the grill back here. Do both the top and bottom. We'll do the tuna and the bok choy at the same time here. So we got both of these on warming up now. And this is bringing up to a heat here. Let's get out our cornstarch. That's a curing salt. What do I got? Oh, I got my starch over here these days. I got a bunch of boxes when I ordered it last. You can still hear the mushrooms over here sizzling a little bit, even though they're completely off of the flame. We'll use the metal one. Well, for anyone new here, we do. I was saying before Wednesdays, I'm also here on Fridays and Sundays. Going to be doing cream puff sundaes, a la Saunders fudge style, here on Sunday for Valentine's. And I haven't completely decided what else I'm doing there, but we'll have a nice dinner to go along with that too. Wednesday we'll have either, it looks like we're going to have Cajun spice for dinner and dessert on Wednesday, but it could be oatmeal. And if you look in the about section down below, there's a long list of, well, it's getting a little shorter right now, but I generally have at least 2 weeks of info there for you guys. Ready for a battle again, so we'll run a 1-minute ad to kill the pre-rolls. That's up to a heat here in the back. The marinade liquid, and so I'm going to turn that burner down below boil just to keep it warm till we're ready for that. How's our rice looking back here? That's still... We're not boiling yet. Nope. Well, yeah, I haven't had too much luck in that area. I pulled out enough here for both of our sauces tonight, so we'll thicken this sauce up too in a pan. Have to use my cast iron for that. I don't have another small saucepan. Got all sorts of large pans. This recipe I'm doing tonight was originally a portobello mushrooms, and I just like shiitakes much more. It's going to be a lot more potent this way. If you guys know flavors, shiitakes are strong. Well, it looks like we're done with our minute here, so let's run our battle. What's for dessert? Still leftover spinach cake from Wednesday. Which actually is, it doesn't taste like spinach. I don't know if you guys are following in Discord. I post tasting notes in Discord somewhat. Victory! That was dangerous. Edgy Hercules with the kill. BSWJ, welcome in with the assist. Head Mama Bear with the scrolls. Ooh, and goodies for me. I get some Orc Slayer scrolls for the Orc Slayer that I never put out there. And a skin for Flying Rogue that I never put out there. Let me go top or bottom here. They're both silver chests. I think we're going to go top and then down. Over time, I can do a cleric. It'll help me out with my quests. So I'll put my cleric right here. And hopefully we can build up here. We'll do cancel out that. And yeah, I'll leave the rest for you guys. Doesn't matter where they pop up. It always shows up way far away from wherever I am anyways. Back to our board here. I'm going to refill my water with some nice cold refrigerated water here so that I can add that to my slurries. When it comes to starch slurries versus a roux, I do roux a lot of the time. I prefer them. But when it comes to starch slurries, whether you're using cornstarch or arrowroot or anything along that line, you want a temperature difference. You want these cold, like ice cold, as close as you can get them to ice cold. These. And you want your sauce at a boil or near a boil. And so when you add it in there, that's the way you get your maximum thickness out of this. And if you start adding too much starch in there, you start getting flavors in there you don't want. I've already brushed this with oil, and it's cast iron too, so not too worried about that. We also got some oil in there with this too, and with these. Waiting on our rice to come to a boil here now, which we're probably close. Feeling a little bubbling, but not enough. Let's look up that last word. What was it? Oh, it's a type of cheese. It's a Danish cheese. Thank you, Nan Reader. Welcome in. Unfortunately, actually, just switch this and get it up going good on the large burner. Yeah, we got obviously Danish, but or multiple Danish languages. But there's German in there, there's Spanish in there, there's Italian in there. They're not all going to work for those word descrambler websites. Okay, we're up to a boil here. We'll turn our water, or our boil off on our rice, and put that in the back there. Bring that one back to the forward. Up to a boil again. Swap this for this guy. Let our rice rest up there. We get a couple of people that are pretty good at these. Guess they like hanging out in my channel too. So we're gonna drain our tuna off into the other one. Into my small cast iron back here. Because I think we're starting to smoke over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tuna right on the flame. Brushing off most of the green onion because that's not going to do well on the grill here. Rest of that liquid in the pan back there. Bring that up to a boil. Hands, quick rinse. We'll add our bok choy. Now, consomme should be an easy one to guess in the food world, which these are also all, at least remotely, food related. So we got that. That's already thickening up pretty good on its own. I don't know if I even need to add anything. I think I'm just going to reduce that one. So we'll put that one on the back burner now. Since this guy back here doesn't have nearly the flame. And bring this one up to temp. See how we're doing here. Let's give those a turn. Well, consomme is a very common term as far as food is concerned. It's a very clear broth. It's used, typically you use a mix of different proteins like ground meat, eggshells, and eggs to create what they call a raft, and that will enhance, when that thickens and comes together, it'll pull a lot of the impurities out of the rest of the, I'll call it impurities, it's probably tasting wonderful, but the stuff that clouds up your stock. And so proper consomme should be able to see the writing on a penny at the bottom of a cup. Is the old school method of, that's how clear it should be. We'll add some cold water to our cornstarch here. You want this slightly thick, like maybe a heavy cream or almost verging on a crumb fresh. That's a little thin actually, but it will work. The good thing about slurries like this is they can go into the pan last minute. And I need to pull that tuna off. Okay, so that'll be a nice thick sauce there once that comes back up to a boil. And there we go. Set that up there for the moment. Let them just hang out for a little bit. Now see, that's nice and thick. You see the bubbles there. Actually a little worried about that sticking in the pan, how thick it is. Turn the heat off in the sauce in the back here too. Thank you. Little cup. Take a look at our rice here, which is looking gorgeous. Maybe a little sticky. We'll be fine for our, maybe a little over in the water. I fudged and added a little extra just because I didn't think 1.5 was going to be enough. But, my bad. So we'll take a bunch of our rice and pack this guy full. I hear you, Bok Choy. I hear you. Off. looking gorgeous over here. Where's my tongs? It still needs a little more love. You can't really see it too much in camera there, but I'm sort of painting the back corner of my stove here with marinade. How's my... That's not too hot on my... Oh, it's okay. Or the spin. No, I'm not a big making noise sort of thing. A number of guys are like that, but I was the guy that actually was asked at one point, early cooking, why I wasn't making noise when I was chopping. Because they are all like trying to dig their knives into the boards or something. To a certain degree. Cut the heat here on our grill now. We'll do half of this bok choy hanging off of the plate here because it's ginormous. There we go. Drizzle some of our mushrooms over the top of those guys. Maybe could have given those a chop before I put on the plate, but it wouldn't be nice and pretty like that. We'll drizzle some of the sauce that we reduced that originally marinated this with. We'll add our tuna steak here. And some of our thickened sauce. Slash marinade. Yeah, and green onions over all of it. And there we have dinner for tonight. I don't have it in me to throw these away. Still refreshing, still tasty. It's got that nice I'm just not a huge fan of sparkling. As that bitterness just gets to me from the sparkling. But otherwise, that is a great drink. We got the heat off on that, so I'm not worried about that cooking back there. Let's take a quick photo here. Awesome. No worries, no worries. Let's give you a main view shot here for you guys. The webcams are nice, but they don't quite give you the color. Oops. Other than the soy sauce that I just poured off of the plate there. There's our dish. Let's see who we can give a raid to. That was a pretty quick meal tonight. Not quite 2 hours, about 2 hours. How are we looking on our battle? Got another 7 minutes on our battle. So why don't we wait out on our battle? Well, I gotta take a second here and see who we can throw a raid to in the future here. Oops, I need to reload this. It is not up to date. Can clean up a couple of things here. I used way too much starch. I didn't need nearly all that. Although I do think I probably could have hidden that with some starch. Get this nice, thick, dark flavor. Let's give this a try while we're hanging out. Cutting across the grain. Oh no! It has certainly got flavor. Oh wow, yeah. Go right in for the... Yeah, we'll skip the core actually. Too soft, doesn't want to stick on the fork. Even though it's bright white still. It's probably got a little crunch to it. Making a mess too. I should have thickened the sauce with this. rice is a little too thick. I should have gone a little lighter on the liquid on that. It's cooked fine, it's just too sticky. Tuna's great. Maybe slight, well, no, we're pretty good. Not quite all the way through, but we got a nice sear on the outside, which is what we're really worried about. And that sauce is some potent stuff. Got the fish, or that was fish was in this one. Got the soy, got the ginger, garlic. Good stuff. Oh, it's technically overcooked, although time-wise, it's fine. It also depends on the rice, but essentially overcooked rice is rice that's absorbed too much water in one form or another. Of course, you can also have rice that's undercooked in the sense that it's almost like jello on the, or it's really soft on the outside, but it's still hard on the inside. Keep looking back there. We're waiting on Stream Raiders. We're not. He's still going. Nice. So I know where we're headed when we get there. Yeah, I should have thickened this marinade a bit more. And it doesn't want to stick on a fork at all. It's got a bit of a crunch. Not too much. But it's also very tender. Yeah, a couple of them are pretty big. I know polysucrose is in there, and I don't think that's it, because there's a T there. There's a couple of long ones in there in the scientific terms for like sugar and very basic things. Oh yeah, the ginger in that, ooh, strong punch. Ooh, this has a lemon sauce or lemon juice in it too. That's why it's got such that punch to it too. Well, that was the hope that it would maybe spawn a little conversation in that sense. Alright, let's do Stream Raiders and we'll skip the ad this time. Since we're wrapping up here. Victory. Midget Hedgehog with the kills. Head Mama Bear with the assists. Come on, program. Let's go. Head Mama Bear with the scroll. Congrats. We will continue on here from on Sunday. Valentine's Day. I will be streaming here on Sunday. I'm going to finish off my cocktail, enjoy the rest of this. I'm going to send you guys all off to hang out with the Hunger Service, someone who I don't get to raid very often. He's often streaming before me. He's actually doing a streamathon / streamiversary. So he's a great dude. Puts on a nice show. He's been streaming since like the beginning of Twitch. So I hope you guys all enjoy. And I will be back here on Sunday. I hope to see you then. Thank you and good night. Oops. 1 second.